Afternoon, everybody. It's Monday, June 15th. I'm going to call the Board of Selectmen meeting to order. I have with me tonight Jenny Angel, Steve Heath, Steve Felton. I also have Ann Barney on Zoom, and I am Andy Fitch. Ron Beard will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance tonight.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nice shirt.
Okay, so we have two sets of meeting minutes to approve. The first one, Steve Felton, you're not going to be able to vote on. And please help me remember, we have to do a roll call vote on everything tonight.
Thanks, Ann.
You're welcome.
At least Hootie can't grab you caption.
That's right.
Move it so it can pick it up over there. Do I have a motion on the minutes for February 2nd, 2026?
I'll move.
Yeah, I have a motion. Do I have a second? Sure. I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of February 2nd, 2026. Any further discussion? Jenny?
No.
Steve? No. No. All in favor? Jenny?
Oh, yes.
Steve? Yes. Ann?
Yes.
And Andy says yes. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is the minutes for the June 1st meeting of 2026. Do I have a motion on those?
Move
we accept them? Yeah. Do I have a second?
Second.
So I have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye. Oh,
Steve?
I wasn't at that meeting.
Okay. Ann?
Yes.
And Andy says yes. Motion carries 4-0. Okay, next item on the agenda is the goose banding. So this is something that Fish and Game has done before in the ballpark.
No, this is gonna be down at Memorial Park.
Oh, it's going to be at Memorial Park.
Yeah,
this time.
along the waterway there.
Okay.
Yep, they're gonna set up a netting area, and then the two kayakers are gonna go in and kind of herd them in. Then they'll band them, identify what sex they are, and then they release them.
Okay. They've done this before. I don't think we need to approve or disapprove of it.
No.
This is just so they can do their count or whatever they.
Yeah, so what is it?
Not that it matters, I'm just curious.
Probably asking for permission because
Well,
it's on town property.
Yeah. So, yeah, they wrote, we've communicated over the last 2 summers about potentially banning geese at Ashland Memorial Park. Fish and Game will begin banning the geese. I'm not going to mention the dates because we don't want crowds, banning the geese is part of an international effort to track survival rates and migration patterns of the waterfowl.
So okay, so then they'll be banded, they might get caught up in other part.
Well, they'll be tracked so they can.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the what's the little bird that they hummingbirds. They track the hummingbird migration and everything and all that. So
Okay.
I think
Cool.
it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, anything further? Okay, next item on the agenda, emergency operations plan update. Ron?
Yep. So fire chief brought to my attention that the plan is in need of being updated, and he has chosen option 3. It's with the same company that's done it for us before. And he did make me aware he didn't budget appropriately for that. He'll go over by probably a couple $100 on the budget line. I said just save it somewhere else. But it's important to keep that updated, your contacts and
Yes.
all
How,
that.
how often is that done?
It's last time it was done was 2016, I believe.
So
So
you're probably
10 years.
listed as the main
Yeah.
guy, right?
yeah, so I told him to go ahead and schedule it. And,
Okay,
it's all for the safety of the community and everything.
all right.
Okay,
So, excuse me, when that is done, are parts of it are published out there, or is it, not?
So that's an operation plan, less giving out contact info,
Well,
but
right, there's some things.
the,
we
the, the,
might
bo-
not
the
want.
body of the plan can be made public so
Okay.
that people know how the response will happen. And we'll probably have a public hearing on it
Okay.
just to make everybody up to date.
On what the plan is,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, like
Okay.
emergency shelters, all that stuff's gonna be coordinated through.
Okay, that's good, thank you.
okay, next item on the agenda, AEDC rules and procedures. Steve?
Yes, I just wanted to, I think you all have got copies of it, and over the last couple of 3 meetings, we've been going through updating the rules and procedures. We took the ones that we had several years ago and updated those to current, and also listed our, missions, statement as part of that. And as we define, new projects with the okay of the select board, those projects will all be able to be related back to one of the mission statements, which will also be connected to the master plan and CIP, so it all kind of is working together. So this is just to get the board's approval on those rules and procedures, and once that's approved, we'll get that up on our website. If anyone has any questions?
I'm very happy with this.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
Do you need a vote? or
Just want to vote that
Yeah,
it was approved by the select
Yeah,
board.
call.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'll make a motion that we accept the Economic Development, Committee rules and procedures. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Jenny, are you in favor?
Yes,
Steve Heath,
Yes.
Steve Felton,
Yes,
Ann Barney,
Yes,
and Andy Pitch says yes. Motion carries.
and I want to thank all the members of the committee for all the input that we had in putting that together. It was definitely a team effort.
It was definitely a team effort. Next on the agenda is CIP discussion, impact fees.
Okay, about a couple of weeks ago, the planning board, through John Havel, asked about about us potentially having impact fees, and I don't know if you all know what impact fees are, but I think you probably all do. This is just, and I'm not gonna go through all this, it's just kind of a recap of what impact fees are and why we might want to have them. There's a number of towns in the state that already have them. I know Ron's familiar with them because they had them in Lincoln, and it's basically designed to, first of all, you can't even make impact fees unless you have a master plan and an active CIP. So now that we have an active CIP, we can begin that process. I know the planning board wants to do it, and I think they've already started working on a potential wording of a warrant article that we might have to do, but there's a lot of steps before we get to that point. And basically, I just wanted to get the okay my thought was maybe myself and John Harville from the planning group can kind of sit down and talk through the steps. And if you look at this piece, it literally lists all the steps you need to go through, which we would pretty much have to start now to be able to have that ready to put on a warrant article for March. So I'd just like the okay to get started with that process with John. And if we get into anything that's gonna cost any money, I'll let you know that, but I think we'll be able to pull most of the information together without doing any of that by looking at some of the other towns,
Mhm,
maybe talking to some from the NHMA, is it?
mhm.
Yeah, and I think we'll be able to pull all the basic information, and once we do that, then we can make a decision whether it's something that we wanna pursue, but it has the potential to give us, additional revenue for new development that happens within the town, and it's only based on capital improvements. It's not for regular budgets or maintenance or anything like that. It's based on any capital improvement projects, and there's formulas that you use to determine if it's a new two-bedroom home or a multifamily. There's data that you have to pull together to come up with a consistent method of calculating that. So yeah, that's what it's about. And we wanted to just pursue it to see if it was something that we could get on the ballot potentially in March.
Yeah, I think we need to do this. Do we need a vote on this, Ron? I think we
No,
can do
it's just-
consensus.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
I think it's
give
just,
them their marching orders to go forward. Yeah.
you comfortable with moving forward,
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Jenny? Ann, you comfortable with moving forward?
Yes.
Okay, you got your orders.
will do.
Thank you, sir. Next item on the agenda is a intent to cut. It's map 219, lot number 007. And they're cutting a heck of a lot of timber, over 1 million board feet.
Who's this?
Rosen.
It's on Sanborn Road. It's 104 Sanborn Road. So I'll make a motion to approve the intent to cut. Do I have a second?
Sure.
So I have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion?
Is there any reason we would not want to do this? Because I obviously haven't looked at.
You know, the way this was explained to me a long time ago, if we don't approve it, they can cut it anyway.
Basically, your approval, so you'll get the timber tax.
Right.
I was just, it's like, not knowing, I just like you asked me to say.
Obviously,
yes,
the state's gonna be involved, and
Okay.
obviously
Why would the state be involved?
because they're gonna keep track of the board feet that,
DRA,
Oh,
Yeah,
they
right.
think they do?
revenue.
Okay.
obviously during the process, we'll keep an eye on,
Well, there's impact to the neighbors, the road, whatever.
yeah, runoff, whatever, yeah.
Yeah,
So, we've gotta keep an eye on it.
okay. But they're letting us know what they're doing and
Mhm.
Yep.
so that helps. Okay.
Any further discussion? Jenny, are you in favor?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Ann?
Yes.
And Andy's in favor.
They just signed that at the bottom there.
Yep. Is there a way to send this through Hootie to Ann so she can sign?
I thought she could do it telepathically.
She's good. She's real good.
Mhm.
Ann can sign when she gets back.
Yeah, I'll be back Thursday.
There she goes, threatening us again.
I thought our vacation was.
Yeah.
Oh,
I put in one more time.
Jeez.
She'll get me back.
Sure she
Can
will.
you feel the love?
Oh,
Ann?
yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, you can see our faces, we can't see you.
Her tongue sticking out.
How's the weather down there?
Hot.
Oh,
You feel bad?
no.
No.
All right, thank you.
All right, the next item on the agenda is the opportunity zone designation. Steve, I guess that's you again.
Yes, at one of our previous economic development meetings, we were talking about different opportunities that we might be able to look at, and one of the things that, Bino mentioned, and Bino's gonna talk a little bit more about it in a moment, are, opportunity zones. And I'm gonna give you my quick recap of it, but Bino's the expert on it, so I'll let him detail it. But basically, it's a federal program that allows municipalities throughout all the states, but New Hampshire obviously has a number of designated opportunity sites, and it's not where you designate the whole town, you designate a parcel. So if we were gonna do something like that, we would probably designate the mill as an opportunity zone where basically, people can use their capital gains or things from other projects. And instead of paying taxes on those capital gains, they can invest them in development of an opportunity zone. And that tax is either delayed or potentially forgiven if they have that property long enough. So, we would have to make, from my end, and I'm gonna turn it over to Bino in a second, but I believe that currently all of the potential opportunity zones are taken up, but the governor of the state has the ability to designate or change opportunity zones. So if we wanted to do it, we would have to make a case to the governor, and there's a number of different ways to do that, as to why that particular property, if that's the one we chose, should be an opportunity zone. And it definitely sounds like it potentially opens up incentives for people to be able to, potentially like buy something, buy the piece potentially that we have and do something with it. So it sounds like it's a very good program. Whether we could actually get it or not, I'm not sure, but with that, I'm gonna turn it over to Bino, and please elaborate on what I said.
Sure, so, so everything that he said is correct, obviously, and, it's a competitive process. And unfortunately, in 2016, when they initially came out with opportunity zones, New Hampshire was given 27 of them. And, I remember being at a meeting with the governor who jokingly said, and no, Bino, you can't have all 27 opportunity zones in the North Country. Well, settle for half, Anyway, so at the time it was 25, now 27. Now they dropped it this go around, which will go on for another 10 years, as of January of 27. But this go around is only 25. I don't know of any communities that are gonna wanna give those up, because again, it spawns investment, into the community. So, the board would have to make a strong case for basically wanting an opportunity zone in Ashland.
Follow-up question to that is, so if all of them are taken now.
Yep.
And we were to make a good case, are all of those that are already given locked in for 10 years, or does the governor have the ability to move those around from one community to another?
Well, the governor has the opportunity to pick 25. And in this case, if there are other towns that don't have one who want one, it's gonna ultimately be up to the governor. Probably at the recommendation of our department, I believe. I think.
Yep.
My commission is gonna have a lot to say about that as well. I know that at one point, we're gonna go around different communities to have listening sessions and stuff. So, but I believe, two communities are gonna have to give up their current designation.
And a community that currently doesn't have one could potentially get one of the ones that are already to somebody else?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. So, it's gonna be a matter of, making a case for, and I agree with you that, we could probably go for, an opportunity zone in the mill area, so anybody who comes in and invests can take advantage of the capital gains, tax that they would normally be charged on their investments, but, actually defray that with their investment in the mill area, if that's where, the community wants to have one.
And I just want to clarify my understanding of piece of this is, so they may have had capital gains from some other project. They got the money from it, and then they can take those dollars and put it towards this development of the site, so that they don't have to pay the capital gains on whatever they
For
had
10
done
years.
previously. Yeah.
And we just barely had a meeting. We had it up in Berlin because they have an opportunity zone and they're looking for two. And they were denied the last time because, like the governor said, they weren't gonna all be in one part of the state. He wanted them spread out. So they basically go from Colebrook, all the way down to Manchester.
So and correct me if I'm wrong on this, from a demographics and a income point, Ashland would look a good place to do. The question is, do we have a plan and can we convince enough people that we have our act together and will actually make this all happen? Is that?
That's gonna be an absolute must.
See that,
Obviously, but, you know, Ashland and Berlin are still in the top three or so
Mhm.
as the you know, the poorest towns, the towns in distress, if you will. Berlin is one, Claremont's another. They want to keep theirs, obviously,
Mhm.
and then we're in that group as well. So, I mean, I think if we make a good case because of the economic situation that we're in, I would think there's a good chance that the governor would move forward and say, hey, you know, they're asking for an opportunity zone and should consider it, you know.
Jen, you got a question?
yeah, so I'm assuming that we would need to get our act together with, say, looking at the mill to come up with a plan, which we do not have. But if we got a plan, and even if there was like a developer in the wings, like looking at whatever, what kinds of things would be good for us to have in the pipeline or in place to improve our chances of being selected to get this?
Well, obviously, it should be a parcel in town that has, you know, that could pave the way for job creation. That's what it's all about.
So the town doesn't necessarily have to own it, it could be other owners, but.
Oh, sure.
Okay,
Oh, absolutely.
but just,
They just identify a particular, you know, like here's an example. The Balsams up in the Dixville,
Yeah.
that's,
yes,
he's keeping his, I'm sure. He's gonna make a big case
Yeah.
to keep his, but at the same time, the industrial park in Colebrook, they wanna keep theirs too, because they're out of land now, but they wanna expand at some point. So they want they want a redesignation of that area, so if a company comes in and says, hey, I wanna build a 30,000 square foot manufacturing facility, it's there.
but economically, we are a distressed community, just looking at.
Oh, yeah,
And-
we're in the top
Well,
three with Berlin and I believe Claremont.
yeah, so,
I think the key would be, first of all, we as a town would have to really want this to happen. And second of all, we would have to put together a convincing case for
for our
the
voters,
appropriate authorities,
do we have to get, would we have to get
you know.
the new warrant article or anything to, it's got nothing to do with that? Okay, nothing to do with, okay, all right, okay,
you know,
Okay.
So we just have to decide, is this something that we think we would like to pursue? Because there's gonna be a reasonable amount of work in
to get something.
putting all that. Now, this is work, quite frankly, we have to do anyway.
We need to do
So,
anyways. So we can time it and get some monetary benefit to help push it along?
It's basically a tool to attract investment
Okay,
in poorer communities.
okay,
You know, and again, out of the 27 current ones, you know, the majority are in communities like Colebrook and Dixville and Claremont and Berlin
And
you know,
I just thought of another question. So when you're looking at the mill piece, obviously there's a piece of that that we as a town own. And then
yes,
there's other parcels that
Right.
others own. And if a developer came in, they could potentially use the site that we own, or they could further develop a site that somebody else owns if they wanted to sell that to them.
absolutely. Well put, yes. Yeah.
so is it the area would be designated, so anything that's put into
It's a
this?
parcel.
That
Means
parcel,
a
that,
Oh,
parcel.
it's just a parcel,
Well, or
Geographic
a
area.
group of parcels, but
a
we
geographic?
could do the whole
So we
mill.
could do,
Yeah.
we could do the whole mill, so,
Right.
so somebody decides to buy our building and do something with it, and then there's some parcels next door, someone else
Yes,
could, do it,
yes.
and they could also, okay,
yeah, but
Okay.
as an example, you can't just do the whole town and say,
no,
we're
right,
an opportunity, so now
Right.
that'll never work.
no, okay. We could put a rope around ours if it was long enough, because it's pretty obvious. Okay, all right,
So what's the timeline? When does this have to be done by?
Before the end of the year, but I believe the governor is going to be, the governor's office is going to be looking for like a finalized list from us, I believe sometime in September.
oh, so we have, what
So-
do we have to get together by then, because that's short?
We have to get together a case to present to the governor of why she should consider this site as a.
Do we need to define the area?
Yeah.
Like to start off with, define what area?
Right.
I have a multi-step process of what we need to do to
Okay.
get it.
Okay, okay. So we have very.
Do all
specific
the-
things to do. Okay.
Do all the landowners have to be on board, or can you just do this and then hope they jump on?
Right, yeah, they do not, all the landowners do not have to be on that.
So does that increase potential value of the property? Because,
Well,
because it makes it more.
correct me if I'm
economic.
wrong on this one. Let's say that a particular owner of a piece of it wanted to move on to something else and sell it.
Yep,
A developer could come in, if this was an opportunity zone,
yep,
and they would have more of an incentive to buy it because they would have capital gains
More-
delayed for,
offset
right?
10 years.
So
Right.
there's, so there's so it increases the value of the property potentially. While this is, well, it's just,
I don't know about that. No, I think again, it increases the likelihood
that somebody will
of
develop.
attraction.
Of
right,
attraction,
you know, so
which,
like-
right, yes, well,
like-
yeah.
Yeah, like Steve just
Yeah.
said, let's say company XYZ in the mill area says, I'm moving on, I'm gonna sell this. An investor could come in and say,
What?
I'll buy that and I'll put, so as an example, I'm working with a company that just bought a building in, North Haverhill. They make kitchen cabinets.
Hmm.
And so they're an opportunity zone. So he's coming in, he bought the building for $1 million+. He's gonna put another million in it, and then he's bringing $5 million worth of whatever they put lathe, CNC machines, whatever they use to make kitchen cabinets, so because of that, and because they're an opportunity zone, the money he pays for the building, the money he pays to invest in upgrading the building, and it's gonna need probably $1 million worth of
Mhm.
of
Upgrades, yeah.
upgrades and stuff. And then the $5 million in equipment that he has to put in there to make it operable, that all, all of that money gets put into the opportunity zone defray, for the next 10 years on his investment. This guy, these people are huge. They just bought, they own 5 companies in Canada, in Sherbrooke. He just bought a building in Buffalo New York. They're putting 90 people to work in that building. And so, again, you know, the parcel that he bought in Buffalo is an opportunity zone, so any money he invests in that, you know, will help him with
Yeah.
this process. So it can do the same thing here. Like Steve said, if the town's building is involved, or if another building is sold, whatever money that they
Invest.
take from, you know, an investment and dump it in here, there's no tax liabilities for.
Because one of the examples I saw was, I think, on like a 1231 sale, where they switch properties basically, that's what I believe it is.
Right.
And whatever gains they get out of that, they
They
can
don't
invest that into
and they don't
their
have to
development and not pay any taxes on
Yeah.
it for X number of years.
So you know, it was the president's original plan in 2016 to basically bring investment in communities that are struggling.
Mhm.
That's really basically it.
Can you have? Can you have? One, zone, but have a building that's not, or an area that's not adjacent to the rest of it? So what I'm saying is, we've got a piece of property here,
Yeah,
and then we got a piece of property up on Main Street. Can they be considered one zone?
no,
Okay,
there's nothing that says they can't, you know, both be zones, but here's an example. Berlin wanted, in 2016, they wanted their industrial park area to be a zone. And then there's another area in the city that, there's a developer there who wants to bring, more manufacturing in, on the other end of town. And in this case, the governor basically
Yeah.
said, one.
one.
Because we only have so many, and so that's all they got.
Well, they've only got 25 now.
Right, and they, but they,
25 for the whole state.
but they have to, but if they're contiguous, that would be considered one, even though it's multiple
Oh, you,
properties.
yes, yes.
But as
You
long
can
as
put
we,
like, right. You know,
That's why you can
like-
do the whole
the
mill.
whole mill, because
Yeah.
it's all, you know,
Right.
See,
yes. Yeah.
Then they're
That-
connected.
That's a good
Gotcha.
question. The city of Berlin basically took their whole industrial park.
Yeah.
Which has different parcels.
Different owners,
That
different,
whole area, in fact, like right next to the park is a facility that has nothing to do with the industrial park, but it's land right next to it.
so they include.
And there's a company that built on 10 acres, they built a greenhouse. And so they have like 70 people.
Like growing lettuce in it?
Yeah, that's it, yeah,
Mhm.
right, exactly. So they were included for that reason, to
Okay,
make sure that their investors get, you know,
All the
get
way
used
from Main
right.
Street down.
so do we know what we need to do to get going on this, or
I have some steps outlined
okay,
that we would need to pursue, and like I said, there's gonna be a good amount of work to do it, but
right, but we know,
we gotta do the work anyway.
but
Yeah.
we know what we have to do, or or.
We will sit down and go through it.
Go through it
Yeah.
and figure out, because time is short.
I would agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
statement.
I
Okay,
think we have a consensus. I don't think we need to vote on it.
thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll talk.
Happy to help anytime.
Thanks, Bino.
Thanks,
All
Thanks,
right,
Bino.
Good night.
Under old business, we have the vendors permits. We have received some information that there have been a lot of complaints against this vendor. Might not be a good idea to let them into town. I'll entertain a motion on these, on the vendors, either or, for or against.
I'll vote that, I'll move that we deny the permits, is that what we're looking for?
Okay, I have a motion to deny. I have a motion and a second to deny. Any further discussion? All in favor, Jenny?
Yes.
Steve Heath,
Yes.
Steve Felton,
Yes.
Ann Barney,
yes,
Andy Fitch says yes.
I'll handle it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next thing we have is credit card policy. We've kicked this can down the road a couple, 3 meetings. Steve, I know you had some questions about it initially. Have you
Yeah, no, I
resolved
read-
them?
I read through the whole thing. It sounds
Okay,
good to me.
I'd like to make a comment.
go ahead.
Just was, we went through this with my previous employment. And one thing, I mean, this is pretty detailed. The one thing that not in here is what the process is if an employee accidentally or whatever uses the business card for a personal. And that does happen. Sometimes people pull out the wrong card and not realize it, or whatever. But what would be the process be? So it's not this ugly thing. It's like, oh, I have to fix this, you know, what
Yeah.
happens? Cause that, of
Good
course, they
question.
were bigger, there were more cards, but it would happen.
I think is that under number 8, disputed transit?
Well, and it's not, you know, it's,
No. No, you're right. I didn't.
okay, just so there is a process, because
Yeah.
it will happen.
Yep, well,
Oh, it's happening in many municipalities.
Right,
Yeah.
so if,
Seabrook's had some big ones.
but so, a lot of them are innocent, you know, they're.
yep.
Some are, yeah.
Well, we have good employees, I
Yeah.
like to, you know, like,
Well, 16 policy violations violations of this policy may result anything from a warning to cancellation of the card termination.
right,
Depending on the severity of the violations will be dealt with in accordance with the town's
right, but I'm,
personnel.
but
policy.
like, if an employee does that, you know, the process is, if they realize they did that,
Oh.
first thing they should do, you know, it's like the thing, go
Record it.
talk to your supervisor, do, you know, and then who
Yeah,
talk to
come
you.
forward right away.
Come forward, right, you know,
Yeah, I
so,
think that's in there somewhere about go pay your loan.
You guys saw it.
Yeah.
Well, there's the statement about personal purchases may not be made.
right, it may not be made,
Well, that'd be a violation,
that
obviously.
would be a
Yeah, that would be a
violation,
violation, but
but yes. When you get disputed charges, but you know, those could be, you know, nothing to do with the employee, it's just a
Well,
suggestion.
obviously an honest mistake, as soon as they're aware that come forward.
And just that's what they have to do, you know, just, you know, so they've been told.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that, you know, they can make the town whole, you know, that's that kind of thing, like
Immediately.
immediately.
Yeah.
And not necessarily be risking losing their job by telling you they did this,
Right.
you know, kind of thing. It's,
Well, if we find it on their own and then they deny it, then.
Well, that's a
then
different thing.
We have an.
that's a different thing, but you know, if an employee realizes that, oh crap, I used the wrong, I used the
Yeah.
wrong card for this thing.
Fortunately, our cards stand out there, not like any other.
That helps, yeah. Okay. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just a suggestion, but
Okay.
other than that.
I think that's a good suggestion.
Mhm.
Yeah, and maybe we approve it with the addition of a. Process.
Yeah, I'll have to review the personnel policy because it does reference the personnel policy.
Yeah,
So it may have something in there
okay,
and I don't have
Let's-
that.
then yes.
Table it for another
Yeah,
meeting.
that sounds
Let's
fine.
get it right.
Yep.
Okay. Do we have any selectmen items? Okay, we have no public to comment tonight. We do have a non-public under RSA 91-A semicolon 3 2C. Matters which just, if discussed in public, would likely adversely reflect reputation. And I have a motion to go into non-public.
Second,
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in Jenny?
Yes,
Steve?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Ann?
yes.
And Andy says yes. We'll be a minute. I gotta shut the cameras off.